So for this last video, we're going to be working with all Google, the Google suite of programs, meaning Docs, Slides, Sheets, and even Forms. So first thing I'm going to do is add one more page to my website that we've been working with. I'm going to go ahead and close this window. I'm going to add one more page here. Remember, to add a page, we're just going over to Pages on the right-hand side, going all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to put Sierra's. Okay, so we've got the Sierra's itinerary. I don't really want it in that position. I'd like it at the last position, or at the last part of this. So what I'm going to do is just go over to my list of pages on the right hand side and click where it says Sierra's itinerary and drag that little line so it shows underneath the last selection, in this case under Washington State, and then the Sierra's itinerary will pop up as the last link in this, or the last page in this website. All right, so what I'd like to do first is add the itinerary, and then I'll add some additional items. So I'm going to go up to my Insert menu on the right-hand side, and I'm going to insert my Sheets. So I'm going to click Sheets. And just so you can find it easily, it's good if you go to the Sheets first and then find your file, and then it'll show up as the most recent file that you searched for. Here's my itinerary for the Sierras. And what it's saying here is people with access to this website won't have access to this file. So I'm going to go ahead and allow viewer access to share with everyone who has access to this website. Okay, so that's the itinerary, and I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller, this little text box a little bit smaller here. Squish that down. And now it's really difficult to see the itinerary, so let's just make it a little bit larger. We'll just make this one a little bit bigger here. Okay. Of course, if we needed it to be even larger than that, we could click on this little pop out and the website, or the Google Sheets, would pop out in its own website or in its own page. The next thing we're going to do is add our little narrative here, or our website information right here on this part of the page. So to do that, I'm going to close Sheets, close that, and I'm going to go down to where it says Docs, Google Docs. So I'm going to insert a Google Doc into this site. And this is my itinerary chip for Duck Lake at the Sierras. And I'm going to click Share, and I'm going to make this slightly smaller, just so it fits up at the top here next to my Google Sheets itinerary. So right now I have inserted Google Sheets and Google Docs onto my Sierra's itinerary webpage. Let's go ahead and preview this and see what we've got. So when I click on Preview, I have my information on what this trip is going to cost me. And then I've got my Google Sheet, or my Google Doc right here, and I can scroll down. Even though there doesn't appear to be a scroll wheel at the time, it does appear. And this is my itinerary for my September 21st trip. All right, now, the beautiful thing about inserting things from Google Sheets or Google Docs, or any of the applications for that matter, is that I can't change the information right here, but I can change it on the actual website or the actual page on Google Docs. So I brought up my Google Docs Duck Lake backpacking trip itinerary, the one we just saw on the website. And let's say I change my mind and I've decided to go on October 10th instead. Now notice what's going to happen when I go back to the website Right now it says September 21st, but if I click the refresh button in the upper left-hand corner, it should change over to October 10th. Well, it will change to October 10th in just a moment. I just have to give it a second. It takes a moment. Hitting the refresh button again. I'm going to click preview. And when I preview it, it shows me the correct date that I just changed on that Google Doc. All right, closing the preview window and scrolling down a little bit, and I'm going to add a couple of more Google Suite programs. So we've already done Google Docs and Google Sheets. Let's try doing some Google Slides. So let's add some slides into here. So I'm going to click Slides, and I'll show this one called Backpacking Show, which popped to the top there. That's okay for this particular one. Notice that those popped at the top, and then we could view the site if we're in preview mode. We could view this Google slideshow. It'll start up just like that. Starts up automatically. And then it'll do all its animations. And then it will add some more additional pictures. And adding some last minute pictures there. Okay, so like I said before, if I change anything on that Google slideshow or in Google Slides, it will reflect those changes right here on our website. So what you're going to do is get out of preview mode. And from now we can go ahead and add in a Google form. So let's go out of here and let's go to Forms. And this form is about Sierra backpacking. Double click. It pops it into a random spot on our website, but we can certainly move that around as we wish. You can always just click on it and make your form or your questionnaire a little bit smaller if you want it to fit into a certain spot. So I'm just putting it right here. And now let's go into preview mode and take a look at it. So as I play with this form, it says fill out form. I'm going to click that. It takes me to the form fill out page, and then I can fill this form out from here. This form will then be transmitted back into your Google Sites, or back into your data, which we've seen before in a different video. So that's how you put in different parts of your Google work on a website. Have a great day, and thanks for watching this series on Google Sites.